Hi everyone. I'm taking advantage of this rare sunny day in England to give you a story behind the painting instead of behind the chest today. Are you ready for this? Here we have a classic Madonna and Child image painting, oil painting, and it's based off a drawing that I found from, I think, Charles Boster and Chambers. He was an early 20th century artist. To be honest, I don't really have like a massive emotional story about painting this image. I just wanted to do it, so I did it. Lately I've been doing quite a lot of Madonna and Child imagery, and just this idea of Mary's relationship to her son, her divine son. And just as Jesus entering into our humanity in all its vulnerability, and also Mary's very motherly love and compassion that she had for all of us, but also reflected in her maternity, her divine maternity. But I believe Jesus and Mary had these kinds of moments of tenderness and joy of motherhood. This is a painting I'm working on right now, and it's of obviously Mary and Jesus, and I'm hoping to, it's also a copy from Charles Boster and Chambers drawing, I think, that I've kind of put into colour, and you can see like this is a bit of thick paint, like in pastel style. But what I'm hoping to do, I just really want to work with gold leaf, so I'm going to try and do some gold leaf halo, but gold leaf is like one of the most painstaking processes ever, so we'll see how I get on. Also, it's really cold because it's November. Also, I just really wanted to do something with gold leaf. I've never really worked with gold leaf before, certainly not successfully. Someone gave me a gold leafing kit and I was like, let's try it out. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I just wing it. Sometimes that works for me. Other times it's obvious that I was winging it. Okay, so this is a work in progress, obviously. I'm so glad I didn't record the progress though, because I am not a professional and there are many things that I don't think I did right. But anyway, let's see what happens when I apply this guy. Not too shabby. Okay, so I don't like the ridges. I might have to do it again. I don't know, I don't really know. I'll have to look up exactly what I'm doing. But guys, this is not too bad at all. Hallelujah, Deo gratias. And this is a valiant attempt, but definitely not a perfect attempt, unfortunately. But we never give up. We never give up on these things. And so this kind of captures a moment of my current skill level, which I hope will increase as the years, or however long I'm given, go on. Everything that you see here, was done by myself, which means that I made this panel. Now, I'm not really the neatest person for the job, unfortunately, as well. It's very homespun, but the panel is made from MDF, and I've covered it in calico fabric with something called sizing, rabbit skin sizing. So I made the panel, I covered it in calico, I put loads of layers of gesso on it. What I'm doing here is I am making many layers of gesso. Which is the prime layer that you have to put on a canvas before you can start oil painting on it, because what it does is it makes a protective layer between the canvas and your oil painting, so that over time the oil doesn't seep into the canvas and make it rot due to the acidity in the pigmentation. So this is rabbit skin glue and whiting, which is just a powdered white thing. I've also put some black pigment in it because I like to work on grey. And I have a saucepan here with boiling hot water so I can keep my rabbit skin glue warm. And then here are my canvases that I am priming. And I'm using my hands because it's the best so I don't get any ugly brush strokes. And I've got to wait about 20 minutes per layer, so it's kind of a painstaking process, which is why you're supposed to do multiple canvases at once so that you can keep moving. And they're all, I need about 8 to 10 layers of this gesso. So this is just the first layer. And what else? Yeah, when I have about 8 to 10 layers, it will look super glossy.
And once it's all dry, I'll sand it down and make it look shiny as
I made the gesso too absorbent. What does that mean? Well, I think I put too much of the one substance in and not enough of the other, in layman's terms. So I did the gesso layer, it looked all nice and smooth, but then as I was painting, actually it didn't look nice and smooth, I did a terrible job. But as I was painting, I was watching the paint absorb into the actual canvas, and it was like chalky and like chalk pastels. So I did a bit of Googling, and apparently what you're supposed to do if that happens, it just means that the ground is absorbing the oil too quickly. And so I had to wash the whole thing, and I'd already like drawn this image with coloured pencils onto the board, and it was a grey colour, it was kind of nice. So I had to wash it with linseed oil and just a really thin layer, and then dab it off with a towel, and after that it was pretty good to go. This is like literally the story behind my processes right now, the vulnerable expose of an artist. I had left my paintbrushes at someone's house, long story. So I was sat in my little shed studio, and I was like, I had this panel ready to go, ready to paint with, and I was like, oh, I have nothing to paint with. So instead of saying, you know what, this can wait, I'll go get my paintbrushes and wait till another day, I was like, no, I came here to paint, this is my time to paint, I want to paint. And so I literally painted the first few layers with my fingers. It was kind of fun, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really fun. Mixed the paint with a palette knife, and then I was like, it worked for me, honestly. In fact, part of me was like, oh, maybe this should be my unique artist style, finger painting. I'm happy it's finished. Obviously I'm looking at this and thinking, there's so many things that I could do, that I could change. But overall, I think it's finished. And there we go. It would be awesome if you like this image too. I'm going to be releasing prints onto my website in due course. So if you're interested in purchasing a print or a canvas print, which is really exciting, I'm looking forward to having those produced, then sign up to my newsletter email list by going on my website, scrolling down and entering your email address, and you will be the first to know. What else? I am not really into this print on demand stuff yet. So any prints that you order or things that you purchase from me, they will go straight to me, and then I will distribute them myself. I might even send you a handwritten note. Thank you very much for your attention, everyone. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next week for another video.